Hey guys, so I thought I would do a kind of life chat catch up with me, as well as I will throw in kind of a what's going on and possibly a giveaway at the end of this video. And by possibly I mean stay till the end and I'll give something away. It's been a while. I'm so sorry I've been gone. I did not mean to be gone this long. You guys know me, you know my work ethic, you know that I typically always plan to have videos even when life gets rough. I don't know what happened. I do know what happened. One, I'm burnt out. Two, we decided to move completely last minute, and of course, my freaking battery's dying. Let's try this again. Essentially, I'm gonna do a live chat, catch up with you, and let you guys know my feelings about Crazy Rich Asians. I disappeared, okay? And a lot of you guys know that it's because I moved. And Chris and I have been talking about downsizing and talking about moving and saying we're gonna do this, which is why I've been trying to declutter, trying to minimize my shopping, minimize things I was consuming and just like hoarding. I thought I was doing a good job, and then we saw the place that we've been eyeing, the rent dropped for the first time in a year since we've been looking at this building that we want to live in. We were like, let's go look at it. Let's see if we really want to do this. And we went to go look at it on a Sunday. We put our deposit in that Sunday and we moved the following Wednesday. It all happened really, really fast. I wasn't prepared for it. Typically, moving for me is already very stressful and brings on a lot of emotions, brings on a lot of anxiety, and brings on just a lot. But on top of that, because I wasn't prepared and we were in the largest space we'd ever been in, nothing was packed, nothing was ready to be moved. It was a nightmare, it was a mess. Chris and I are pretty much alone at this point. I mean, obviously we have family, they're not nearby. Sucks, like it really sucks to try and move 2,300 square feet of stuff across town with just the two of us. And then of course I threw my neck and back out. So you could imagine how stressful that became, because I couldn't really lift anything or help with a lot. And then I got kind of depressed, and I don't know why I got so depressed, other than there was like a couple feelings that I felt like I lost my mom in the last place we were staying at. She passed away shortly after we moved. So I think like as much as there are really traumatizing and not great memories associated to that home, there's a lot of great memories too, because it was the first home that Chris and I felt like it was home. I pretty much move every year, every 48 months, so every year or 2 years since I was 18. And the reason for that is in college, when you're living at the dorms or apartments, you kind of like move out during the summer and then move back in. So that started in college, then I moved to New York. That was a whole nightmare. Then I moved back to LA because of roommates, because of rent going up every year. Like I pretty much moved, and then I moved in with Chris, and you know, we just weren't ever finding a place that we could afford and feel like it was home. And that is why it was really hard to say goodbye to the last place we were at. It was truly, it felt like a home. It just wasn't logical, convenient, or financially making sense for us to stay in the place, because we don't have kids, we don't work nearby. We really needed to be closer to work if we were going, and by work I mean like events, meetings, where people are, the vendors that we work with for our shop. It just made more sense to be a little bit more in the city of LA while we didn't have kids. Save a little bit of money, because it's gonna be expensive and you're gonna overpay pretty much anywhere you live in LA, especially if you have central air and a washer and dryer. It wasn't that we were stretching ourselves thin, it was like, if we keep going down this road, we'll never save enough money to buy a home in California. And for the foreseeable future, this is where I want to live. Kind of at that point where we're like, well, maybe we should consider just buying a home but we can't even think about that. So anyway, so we moved. We moved from 2,300 square feet down to a little over 700 square feet, and I'm really happy in our place. It's the perfect size for the two of us. It's the smallest space we've ever lived in together. We've never shared a bathroom. We've always had a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. To be in a 1-bedroom, 1-bath was really scary, but I feel really good about it. And the reason I feel really good about it is because while we downsized as much as we could without sacrificing the things we love, which is being able to walk around to things, to be able to go get coffee nearby, and to have central air and a washer and dryer. Those were 2 things I didn't want to give up. It's been a really good transition and change, but it happened so fast, and I wasn't even able to like truly say goodbye to our last place. I just needed to get it done at a certain point, and it made me really sad. So I did vlog the entire moving process, sort of, if that makes sense, but it was such a frenzy that there were so many things I didn't get to vlog and express. So this is kind of like the video I'm gonna do now, and then I'm gonna have my moving vlog go up next in terms of like a life video. Wednesday to Wednesday, the following Wednesday was August 15th, and that was Crazy Rich Asians official opening. I read the first 2 books, and I'm currently reading the 3rd book, and I love the books. I like the first one more, to be honest, and I'm liking the 3rd one a lot. The second one was good, but it wasn't as good as the first one in my opinion. I remember reading the book and feeling like, wow, here is a book that really gets it, that really understands Asian Americans and all types of Asians. Especially for me, because my background is Chinese. My mom originally was born in China and moved to Taiwan when she was a little girl and grew up in Taiwan, and then came to the US. She met my dad out here. My dad is Taiwanese. His family, his side is all Taiwan rooted for the most part. Really fascinating to read a book that really truly got it, like all aspects of being Chinese and Asian in that sense. When I heard that the movie was coming out, I was so excited because if you guys don't know, my background is I've been acting in LA since I was 14. I moved to New York for a while. I've taken breaks here and there, and then I officially stopped auditioning and acting when I started focusing more on YouTube, because part of what led to like kind of my quarter life crisis was, one, yes, I have dealt with depression my entire life, which also involves anxiety, but 2 was I was in an industry where I felt completely boxed in and not able to be who I was, because I was never the right kind of Asian for the most part. I was not the nerdy Asian, the slutty Asian, the quirky Asian, or the Asian with the really bad accent. I was messaging with a couple people on Instagram who follow me who are also Asian American. It made me realize I'm not alone in feeling like I'm not belonging anywhere. I'm gonna get emotional, but watching Crazy Rich Asians play out on the screen, the first thing is it's an entire cast of Asians, which is so powerful because the story is great and you don't have to be Asian to love this movie, but it is so important that we are finally getting the representation. And on top of that, representation that isn't this idea that Hollywood has of what Asians should be or are. Every personality of Asian was represented on that screen. And those scenes with the character Rachel and her mom broke me. It hit me harder than I thought it was gonna hit me, because, you know, I'll watch movies and I'll see mother-daughter relationships, and yeah, I'll feel a twinge of pain or sadness, but to see myself on that screen with a mom that reminded me of my mom, it was so powerful because I could relate so much, because it wasn't just another mother-daughter relationship, it was a mother-daughter relationship that was a woman who was an Asian American who was unforgivingly who she was, and a mom who did everything for her daughter, fought and struggled, and still held her part of the Chinese culture, tried to raise her daughter that way, but clearly they're both more Americanized. It's so like, I don't even know how to put it into words, but it felt so good to see Asians being represented as an ethnicity and not a personality that's being cast. I remember, I think this is like what, 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, when I was still auditioning, casting breakdowns were Asian, nerdy Asian, type A Asian, but Asian was a casting. It's very, very stereotypical and, in my opinion, racist. A lot of the times it would be where there's always a type that you have to be. Someone said it the best in one of the articles I was reading. Asian isn't a personality, it's an ethnicity. And for so long, it's been titled, or it's been thought of as a personality in Hollywood, in entertainment. And I don't know if it's because there's this generation of creative Asian Americans now that are voicing what it's really like to be Asian American, to be an American who happens to be Asian and have this background culture, and really like forcing their way through and forcing their voices to be heard. Is it a perfect movie? No. Is it the best movie I've ever seen? Of course not, but it is so much more than that. It's so important to me, and it makes me so happy to think, because I was at lunch yesterday and there was like a 15-year-old girl who is a friend of my brother's, and they all spoke Mandarin and I could understand everything, but I looked over at her and I was like, oh, which high school does she go to? And she said, my alma mater. And I was like, oh my God, I graduated 16 years ago. I was the first graduating class and you're now at my high school. And then I thought, your life is so much different than mine, even though you're growing up in the same town and you're going to the same high school. And you have your parents speaking Mandarin and instilling that you speak Mandarin and that you still maintain your Chinese culture. But you have more representation than ever. I just thought, you get to go see this movie and see yourself represented in a realistic light. It just gave me so much hope, and it gave me so much envy that she has this, because I didn't. It just makes me so happy for her. On top of that, I saw Netflix, and I just, again, not a perfect movie, but so engaging because I relate to it so much. And another female Asian American lead who was so well done, so well represented. And on top of all these feelings that I have of feeling so proud and feeling so excited and feeling really hopeful, I am still worried. I'm worried that it's just this one-time thing. I'm worried that it won't be the norm, and that there's still such an uphill battle to fight for this, for equality and representation. I just hope it doesn't stop. I hope we don't stop fighting for it. Talking to some of my followers, I just thought, when I switched to YouTube, it was really a selfish reason. I switched to YouTube because YouTube, the beauty community, saved my life. I felt completely lost. I knew I didn't want to be a part of an industry that was so negative and making me feel bad about myself, where I felt stuck, where I felt like it didn't matter how good I was, how much training I had, how hard I worked, because it was such a bizarre career. And as much as I absolutely love performing and acting and the act of telling a story and helping bring stories to life, I hated the business aspect of it. I still have a mixed feeling about it because, you know, because of being an actor, I met Chris. Because of being an actor, I have a lot of the skills I need to work with brands when I'm on set. Like, being on set doesn't throw me off. I love being on set. But I also had to learn to be who I was, because for so long I was trying to be what other people wanted me to be, what I thought casting directors needed me to be, what I thought my agent needed me to be, what I thought producers wanted in me. So much of my life was what others wanted me to be, and that's kind of your life as an actor a lot of the times. I didn't know who I was, and it added to my mental illnesses, and instability didn't help, and I had no control over anything. When I discovered the beauty community on YouTube, I thought, here's Michelle Phan. It doesn't matter that she's Asian. Everyone's following her of all over the world because she does beautiful makeup. Here is Ingrid Nilsson creating fun glam DIYs and talking about products, and she seems really well spoken, and she's part Asian, and she gets to create content that she wants to create. I love beauty products. I've always loved beauty products. My favorite thing is being in the hair and makeup trailers on set and picking professional makeup artists' brains and asking them for tips and advice and why they use certain products and why they don't like certain products and how they can spend an hour to make me look like I'm not wearing any makeup but make me look the best version of myself. I found this community where beauty products and makeup and just talking about skincare and self-care was the great equalizer, and I wanted to be a part of it so bad because I felt like nobody cared if I was Asian or not, and even if you did care, it wasn't the main focus. That's why I started to join the beauty community. That's why I started putting content out there. I mean, I remember being discriminated in college because I was in the theater department. That was where I came up, and that was my norm. And so when I saw YouTube, I saw it being this beautiful, I loved it. I loved what YouTube used to represent and be. And obviously it's definitely changed and it's become its own beast. And I think that's why I also needed to take some time away, because I wanted to reevaluate why I'm making videos. I'm not a great makeup artist. That's never been my channel. I do my makeup the way I like to do it. I don't do other people's makeup. I'm very slow at it. I don't wear a ton of makeup anymore. I feel like I did for a while because I felt pressured to on YouTube. And I talked a little bit about this on my Instagram. I wasn't posting photos on my Instagram feed because I didn't have time to edit them or shoot them properly with a full DSL camera and making sure that I had the right filter and the right edits. And I was like, you know what? I just wanted to post a selfie and say hi to you guys, so I did. I didn't edit the photo. I didn't put a filter on it. I just said hi, and I got more likes on that photo than I've had in a really long time on photos that I spend days conceptualizing. And that made me think, maybe I'm not the only one feeling this inundation of perfection and everything has to be a whole spectacle. Because I stopped watching YouTube the last few weeks. Maybe like the last month, I've lost interest. If I'm making videos and I'm not watching them anymore, I'm going to be honest, I'm still gonna edit some of my photos. I'm still gonna use pretty filters on some of my photos, and you'll probably see some really well edited videos here, or really well lit videos here as well. And the reason for that is I do enjoy creating content. I do enjoy conceptualizing a cool product shot and editing it with Chris. So I'm never gonna not become a better videographer, a better photographer, a better editor, because I enjoy those things. But I also enjoy just sharing my life with you guys. I want you to know me. I want you to I want you to watch my stuff because maybe you need help with reviews, and maybe you just need to unwind and de-stress, but also maybe you need someone who's going through the same stuff you're going through to let you know that you're not alone and you're not abnormal or whatever it is you need. Because I need that. The people I still watch, or the people I've started to watch more of on YouTube, don't worry about everything being perfect all the time. And I feel like I can relate to them. I want to try and be more open here as well as on all of my platforms. I'm gonna try my hardest to not fall into pressure of what everyone else is doing. I'm gonna be honest, I feel the pressure. I feel like I have to do certain things, but I'm also going to try my best to not. I'm gonna throw in more actual photos on Instagram that's Insta. Remember when Instagram was actual instant moments that you captured on your phone? I'm still gonna do pretty photos because I enjoy creating that when I have the time and energy and creative juice to do it. I don't travel to these extravagant, beautiful locations all the time. If we go to these amazing places, we are definitely gonna shoot the hell out of it and post the hell out of it, because wow, if we're not there, I should still be able to shoot photos and share that with you. and share how I'm feeling, and whether that's I'm depressed, I'm anxious, I'm upset, I'm happy, I'm excited. I want to share these feelings with you guys because I truly feel connected to so many of you, and I wanted a community where we could just chat and be ourselves and hang out. And yes, we're gonna talk about makeup and we're gonna talk about skincare, probably more skincare than makeup right now, but let's just hang out. That's where I'm at in terms of creating content. That's how I feel about Crazy Rich Asians and kind of what's been released lately on Netflix, which makes me so happy and excited and hopeful and not so jaded anymore, but still kind of sad that it is moving so slowly. And then I'm gonna be completely honest, I do feel like I was born in the wrong time. I still love the arts and performing and storytelling. It's why I love reading books and going to theater and supporting my friends who get to do these creative things all the time. It's why I love movies and TV shows. I get so invested in storytelling. I wanted to become an actor because I wanted to bring these stories to life and I wanted to make people happy. I loved doing comedy because it made people laugh even when I couldn't. It makes me a little sad that I feel like I was in the industry too early to be a part of it, truly. But then I'm grateful for all of the lessons and all the times I was given opportunities. Lots of mixed feelings, good, bad, mediocre. I feel a lot. Opening up a bit more about how I feel about things and where I'm coming from, because, you know, to be honest, I don't think I really talk a lot about being Chinese or growing up Chinese. I think I kind of hide it because I feel like I have to. Sitting at sushi yesterday, listening to that family speak in Mandarin and understanding it perfectly made me really happy and proud that I can understand Mandarin still. I am a little sad that my Mandarin literally is shit at this point because I don't really use it that much anymore. I used to use a ton with my mom, but when she got sick, you know, I would only use it when I spoke to her. And I didn't talk to her on the phone because of her stroke, she had a lot of problems speaking. It became more and more broken. When I was younger, I remember being like so ashamed of speaking Mandarin in public because it made me different and it made me not normal. And I remember being made fun of because all of my clothes came from Taiwan every summer in elementary school. I would go back to Taiwan to visit family every summer, and that's where I would buy all my clothes for the upcoming year. Well, there were some shitty moments. And everybody has shitty moments. Like, you don't have to be different to be made fun of or to be picked on. Unfortunately, kids can be cruel. Adults can be cruel. I remember feeling so different. I remember like wanting my mom to give me the leftovers from dinner to lunch, and I'd bring it, and then I just remember like feeling weird because I didn't have Lunchables or fruit roll-ups or juice boxes. And so then I asked my mom to like only give me Lunchables and things like that, or to make me a sandwich for lunch, but she didn't make very good sandwiches. I'm sharing these things with you guys because I want to open up this dialogue and this conversation. It made me realize I'm not the only one that went through these things, or maybe are still going through these things. Hopefully things have changed and it's become more normal and more accepted and people are more inclusive. I think many of you guys feel the same about me or have had similar experiences. I think it was maybe 2 years ago, I was at an event and some woman, I was alone too, and some woman said the most racial comment to me. I was shocked. When you think, oh, well, if that happens to me, I'm gonna tell them off and I'm not gonna stand for it. I'm that person. But then when it happened to me and I was completely alone at an event and this woman was like, oh, you Chinese people, you Asians are so pushy, pushy, pushy. I literally looked back at her and I was so shocked that that had come out of her mouth, because one, I wasn't being pushy. We were in line and someone was like in front of me, so I stepped backwards and I guess I got a little close to her, but it was a crowd. Two, I could not believe someone said that. I was in such shock that someone said that at an event. Anyways, I don't know where I'm going with all of this, but Don't worry, there will be product reviews, facial videos, and everything still, but I just want to share and like update you guys on all these feelings and thoughts I've been having and kind of this revelation that I have on what I feel like was missing from my channel and Instagram and blog. Not so much my blog, because I do feel like I share a lot on my blog, because that's always been my like brain dump place. I also just wanted to share because more people than not seem to feel alone, including myself. And I don't think we should feel alone. If you're depressed, if you're anxious, if you feel like no one out there is like you, or feels like you, or looks like you, you're not alone. I feel like I've always been focused about self-care and self-love. That's why my channel and everything was originally called Dress Yourself Happy. But I think it's so much more than just beauty. I think it's so much more than skincare, although those are like my core focus because it's what I find most joy in. When I'm really stressed, going through my eyeshadow palettes and swatching everything makes me happy. Or giving myself a facial, taking a bath, and watching Netflix. Like, that is what beauty to me is, and it encompasses anything in your life that is about taking care of yourself and that makes you happy, whether it's working out, whether it's cooking, like anything. So it's about self-care and self-love. By the way, I got a haircut. If you guys don't know, still getting used to styling it, and I'm still getting used to my bangs, but I absolutely love my haircut. I haven't had bangs since I first started YouTube and back when I was like still acting, because I had a really big forehead. I still have a really big forehead, but I was very self-conscious about my forehead. So I was kind of like, you know what? I'm gonna get bangs again, but it doesn't always fall right. I think that's why I grew them out. If you have anything you'd like to share with me, like whether it's stories about growing up Asian, or maybe just like things that you want to get off your mind, I encourage you to share in the comment section. I do try to read every single comment, and at some point I always do read every comment that gets sent in. Also, you can always message me on Instagram. Check out my blog. I do want to say that so much of my time being a content creator here, I've kind of hidden the fact that I was Asian. Not in an obvious way, but I don't talk about like where I come from, how it's made me feel, or the experiences, or how it's shaped me into who I am today. Negative or positive is who I am, and I'm gonna be a little bit more honest about it and not try and tiptoe around things. I always feel like I have like a hard time phrasing things or saying things. Definitely don't feel like I express things very well in words. I always feel like I'm not the greatest communicator, but I'm trying. Those are my thoughts. Very rambly, very long video, but I thought it was time to check in with you guys and kind of prep you for what's going on for my giveaway. I have a lot of stuff sitting around me that's all brand new, and I don't have room for it. Like my new and beauty giveaways, I'm going to throw a bunch of stuff into a bag of skincare, of makeup, of anything beauty related, and I'm gonna give away to one winner here on my channel. Thank you for watching till the end of this video. All you have to do is sign up for my blog newsletter. Once a month, I will send you an email letting you guys know what's kind of going on, some of my favorite things I've created. All you have to do is go to my blog and sign up for my newsletter. You can choose to also be notified of new blog posts if you'd like that. Not required. Make sure you give me a valid email address, because a lot of times when winners are picked, I try to email you to get your address to send you the prize, and it's either an email you guys don't check, or it gets thrown into spam because you didn't confirm that you signed up for my newsletter. The best way to do it is sign up for my newsletter, add my email to your contacts, and this way you'll make sure to get my emails, especially if you're a winner. Last month's winner, I had to pick like 3 different winners because nobody would reply to my email. I won't spam you, I promise. Oh, and please give me your first name at least so I can address you when I write my emails, because I like to make them personal. I'm gonna just make everything personal. I've always tried to do that, but I'm gonna be way more honest about how I feel about things. And not in terms of reviews, I've always been very honest about that, but I mean like in life. And I think I do an okay job for the most part, but I think there's a lot of issues that are on my mind that I don't talk about because I don't wanna offend anybody. I don't wanna put anybody off and have that conversation that like, is there an owl on that roof? So weird. I'm gonna stop talking. Share the giveaway down below. I will see you on Instagram or in my next video. I love you. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day. Bye.